Hey everyone, welcome back to a live stream. This is my second live stream, and I would appreciate any comments that you have so I can interact live with the audience as much as possible. Now, today I want to talk about why AI agents are such a big deal. And you may hear about them in the news, you may read about them, and there is some confusion. What is an AI agent? How is it different from, let's say, like a chat GPT? And again, why is everyone talking about it? Why is it a big deal? So first of all, when you think about AI, since the launch of ChatGPT, for most people, it's a program you talk to, and it can answer questions, it can write some stuff, but that does not make it into the realm of work. Sure, it is there to help you with work, to help you brainstorm, but it's not fundamentally like replace work. Why? Well, it is so because it cannot use your software tools, for example. It, it cannot follow your process, which only you know. It may not have the history or context to know what you know. So, for example, it doesn't know that you were just in a meeting where somebody said something, and now every time you use this chat program, you have to enter all of that context in so that it can give a good recommendation. And after some time, personally, I'm getting a little tired of keep having to give the AI all that context and be so explicit. It's like every time you start a new conversation, you have to like talk about it all over again. And it's a lot of work to just distill all that context into your prompts, right? Okay, so that is where we are with the general population or experience with AI. But AI agents are a little bit different. See, AI agents can also do stuff. And so I'll share with you 5 fundamental ways that AI agents are helping automate business processes. And these are the fundamental skills behind every single thing you do. All right. So the first one is agents are able to follow your process or workflow. So that means they know what to do first and then what to do next and make decisions along the way on how to best solve a problem. Your process is sacred, right? This separates you from another worker. Your process is better, you're more valuable. Your business process is better, your business is more valuable. The service you offer is more valuable. So following processes is really important. But see, regular AI doesn't have that. With regular AI like ChatGPT, you have to type what you want, get an output, type what you want, get an output. See, you're in charge of the process step by step, but it requires a human every step of the way instead of defining your process one time and then letting the AI kind of run that. Okay, so process and workflow is the first thing. The second thing is your data. We already touched upon it. Having the ability for AI to understand, what you said yesterday, or having read your site. I sometimes joke like the difference between AI agents and human colleagues is that AI agents are actually reading the company manual, right? So the difference is data makes a big difference. Data is like the oil, the thing that powers the engine of your company. Good data means good conclusion, bad data, bad conclusions. So no data means no conclusions, right? And so for an AI to be really valuable, we need to find a way for your data to be very accessible. So the next thing is tooling. And tooling, the third thing, tooling is really important. So If you watch like a Netflix show called Alone and Afraid, and maybe you're dropped in the jungle and you don't have any tools, you don't have any gear for survival, it's going to be really hard to do things, even if you're smart and even if you're human. Without our tools, we're not so strong. So tooling is important. Now, tooling is your ticketing system, your ability to make phone calls, your ability to send an email, right? Tooling is extremely important. If I took all those three things away from you, if I took your email away, your phone away, and your browser away, how much could you really get done today at work? Right? Fun question. Think about that, right? All right. So then the next thing is intelligence. This is number 4. So recap, like your process or workflow, your data, your tools, and the next thing is intelligence, right? And so we instinctively know that, right? The higher, the smarter your colleague is, the more capable they are to solve problems, to make good decisions, etc. It's kind of essential. And then the last one is often underappreciated, but we sometimes put it in the soft skill category, right? We call this collaboration. Now, collaboration is like, we've all seen this. Like, imagine this really smart engineer, right? And they don't know how to collaborate with anyone else on the team, right? They end up not being as productive because the collaboration is holding them back. If you think about it, all great things in society, all human achievement, right, require collaboration across hundreds, if not thousands, of people contributing to a problem. Even as something as simple as getting an article on your website may require a researcher, a writer, an editor, a publisher, and maybe an SEO to proofread everything, check the links are right, and so forth and so on. Right? So even simple tasks in our life require collaboration. If you think about just like the food maybe you had for breakfast or dinner you had last night, and you think about how many people were involved in getting that food on your plate from beginning to end, from like planting the seed to harvesting to processing, packaging, distribution, stocking the shelves at the grocery store, to the people that made the vehicle or bicycle that you used to get to the store, and all the way through getting it before you on your plate. How many people were involved with that? Right? It's a large quantity. Again, take a Netflix show where you're alone and afraid, but this time you have your equipment, you have your tools. Now, you can survive for a little bit longer, but you cannot expect such a person to then also come out of that show and say, hey, I just made a reusable self-landing rocket. I mean, something like that couldn't happen. This is the difference with like just individual intelligence and civilization. So going back, in order to do any business process, right, we need to have a good process or workflow. Number 1, we need to have accurate, up-to-date, and good data. Number 2, we need tools and use tools. We need to apply our intelligence, and we need to know how to work together. Those are 5 essential elements for productivity. All right. Now, the reason AI agents are such a big deal is because for the first time, we have technology that can do all 5 things. And I paused for impact because it is a big deal, right? There are certain things in history that we say before the discovery of fire and after, before the discovery of the wheel and after, before humans started writing things down and after. We call this recorded history. Even our calendar have like BC and AD, right? Before and after. There is a before and after for the printing press. There's a before and after electricity, a before and after for the internet, a before and after the fundamental building block of that intelligence, the large foundation models. And then there is the before and after for AI agents. And agents are different from just the part that large language models solve, which is the intelligence part. They know how to handle your process, your data, your tools, have intelligence, but also know how to collaborate. Okay, so this is fundamentally changing the world. And try to present. Last time I presented and I forgot to add it to my screen. So I'm going to do my best to make sure, double check that I have this here. Okay. So every business project is a combination of those 5 things. And historically, we have tried to address some of these processes, of these skills. For example, we try to automate process and workflow with robotic process automation. This is a coder going, if this, then that, right? And saying, do this if that condition met. Think of your spam filter that filters out if this word is encountered, put it in the spam filter. Data is traditionally solved with databases. Historically, we have the relational database, we have the flat databases, the NoSQL ones. For tools, we have invented APIs, and APIs are a wonderful thing. Allows programs to talk to each other via a common interface that is really well documented and very popular and very widespread. But historically, we were lacking intelligence and collaboration. So there has been an inflection in these areas. So if we look at this here, we have in the process and workflow world, we now have agent frameworks. And agent frameworks are kind of the evolution of RPA, the old technology, in that you can have, you can actually consider tools like Zapier in there. You can think of IBM RPA solutions. You can think of those. You have to very much define clearly what you want in every step. And the rules between it are very rigid and brittle. If a condition is not met, it does not recover like a human would if we present a human with an unexpected situation. And nevertheless, the market for automation is gigantic. There is so much business opportunity to make money with automation, even the traditional automation. And I feel when I look at many businesses today, even the old technology of RPA would have greatly benefited them if they were automating more business processes. The problems with it are though that they're hard to maintain, they easily break, and it's kind of like a never-ending work. So it takes a lot of work, and people ask themselves, is the payoff worth it for all the trouble I have to go through? But agent frameworks are different. They fundamentally are using chains of AI, right? Language chains, multimodal chains. They're putting that together to create new levels of automation. Okay, then we have data. And the big innovation here, or inflection point at least, is the vector databases. Now, the most familiar one to you is Google search or the search engine, right? You type in a query and it finds the most relevant snippets of text or websites and serves those up. Now, you can think of vector databases as basically a Google search just for yourself, for your own data. And this allows AI models, without any need for retraining them, that allows you to feed them contextual, semantic information that's relevant to the context of what you're talking about. All right, so let's say that I had that I was talking about cooking an apple pie, right? And it would go into the history of what I've said in my life about this topic. You will find what I said about apple pie in the context of my conversation. Find the most relevant context and feed and make that available at least to an AI to interpret. So I don't have to manually type what I said in the past about this thing. The AI already knows. And so vector databases with semantic retrieval are a big deal in terms of inflection point, right? Now, the next inflection point in terms of tools are large action models. And the main thing that they're promising is access to non-API tools. And what that basically means is, for example, without needing an API, they could look at a phone interface and know how to swipe and know how to open an app and know where to click and emulate your typing, okay? Or without your input, without an API, they can surf the web, click around, find the snippets, interact with the web just like a human would, all right? This is an inflection point, make no mistake. However, I'm also not a big fan of it. All right. This is because they're very inefficient. Now think about having to automate stuff, right? And every single time you have to spin up a virtual environment with a virtual browser. You have to wait for pages to load, use vision models, move the mouse, click on a link, find the right page, maybe repeat that 2-3 times till you find the right information. And then you have the information. Or you can send an API request to that website, and that website is ready to help you, right? Think of it like having a website accessible over API, right? So an agent accessible web, right? It would be instant. And all of that overhead, right, makes it slow and inefficient. So unless we have a bigger breakthrough in AI where these multimodal models can run extremely affordably, extremely fast, and click around the web and devices faster than humans and do that work and use all that processing, I don't really think that LAMs are an inflection quite yet, right? Right now, APIs are highly preferred as a way to automate tools. But tools have been automated, and this is kind of like where RPA and traditional tools like Zapier have leveraged API integrations to do a lot of things, right? So APIs are still king right now, but LLMs are promising. And then in terms of intelligence, I don't need to tell you this, but multimodal foundation models able to process text, video, audio, other modalities are really important. They provide ability to make decisions and judgments, and they know how to classify and interpret and problem solve, and they know how to consider context and outcomes, and they can make themselves adhere to certain output requirements like return structured data versus return a paragraph. And what they allowed us to do is automate work that previously only humans could do. And so this is really impactful because in the past, right, RPA could do things that humans could do. However, it couldn't do the intelligence part, and it still can't, right? And so this discernment decision-making process, knowing how to process information is really important. And I'll give an example for this, so it's very easy to understand. Let's say that there was an API out there, and it required a date as an input. And the date had to be in a certain format, year dash month dash day. Let's say that's the format the API expects, right? Now, in an RPA solution or an automation, traditional automation solution, if you don't give the input in the exact right input format, right? The API would reject it and say, sorry, can't work with it. You didn't give me what I want. However, in an agent world, you could say it in a totally different format. It would interpret that, adapt the input to match the format for you, and it would run, right? So this requires intelligence, right? You need to understand the context. You need to understand what the APIs are looking for, and you need to be able to intelligently apply and call these APIs. This is sometimes called function calling uh, in like the AI world, but this is an example. And then collaboration. This here comes from multi-agent systems. Now, multi-agent systems are the ability for agents to work with each other and also with humans. So you can have a team that includes uh, writers, editors, publishers. They all work together. Well, now they can be all agents, or part of them can be agents, and part of them can be humans. So as we talked about earlier, to achieve anything of real value in this modern world, we have to know how to collaborate. We need to know how to work together in a company. I have firsthand experience of that in my own agency. You don't just come in an enterprise company and say, here I am, this agency, I don't know, in charge of SEO or whatever your scope is. And you can't just expect everybody to bend over and say, okay, we're going to start doing it your way. It doesn't work that way. You have to adapt and collaborate to the way that this company works, to their culture. You have to learn how to collaborate with other agencies, which you may not have interacted with before. You need to learn that. So process, data, tools, intelligence, collaboration, those are the essential skills that automate any business process in a new way in an AI agent future. This enables this AI agent future. And for the first time in human history, the before and after, like the discovery of the printing press, the world will never be the same, because these AI agents will fundamentally change how work is done. They will be your next colleague. Like you can say, like your next colleague will not be from an emerging economy. It will be not from your city, your state, not nearshoring, not offshoring. Your next colleague will be an AI agent. But this AI agent needs to be a lot leveled up from what a GPT is, right? A GPT knows a prompt trick, maybe can access a document or two, but not live data, not historical data. It does not know how to use all your company tools with private access and protect that data. And it doesn't know how to collaborate across multiple entities across your team, send an email to ask for help when it's blocked, right? This is what agents can do. And this is why they're such a big deal. Now, we already see, before AI agents are really commonplace, we already see that the intelligence portion alone is having a big impact on the labor market. We can also see that companies are being rewarded in the stock market for layoffs. Right? We see them doing giant layoffs and their stock value goes up. Their profit margins increase. So this is the world we're living in. What do you do as a business in light of these AI agents just coming out and doing all this stuff? Well, the next phase of what's going to happen with work replacement. Well, first of all, as an individual, there is a job that won't be replaced. I can tell you right now. No need to learn plumbing and start a plumbing company if you are in technology. If you are a white collar worker, you have experience around what a good workflow is. You have experience around judging what data is important. You have experience with which tools to use that can help to get the job done. You have intelligence and you have collaboration. Okay? What I mean by this is that you are your company's most valuable resource if you also know how to build, maintain, and operate AI agents, because workflows will change, data will change, tools you use will change, and there needs to be a human in the loop to maintain those things, to maintain those agents, to operate those agents. If you are a business, then you have to use agents in your company, not human versus machine, not human versus AI, but humans multiplied by AI. You need to start thinking about what a post-agent world looks like for your business. Will you be able to have better process, data, tools, execution of your processes, and be more competitive in the marketplace? The companies who are proactive with that will have incredible gains. The companies who lag behind in this, sadly, will be at high risk of replacement themselves, along with the people that work there. So if you're in a company that is not moving ahead with AI transformation, think about that, right? Maybe you should start a side hustle. Now, let's just talk about just what we have done for a second. So we've built an agent framework that allows people, even without coding background, to create agents, to incorporate your workflow, data, tools, intelligence, and collaboration all in one platform. And the really neat thing about it is that anyone can do it, even you, even if you do not have a coding background, even if, let's say, you're a writer, content writer, you can create agents, and you can make better agents than anyone else because you know your process, your data to make great content. So the best person in the world to build this and maintain this is you, not anyone else. And that is what's going to protect you in this new economy that's coming. So I'm going to share my screen again and just show you. One moment as I pull this up. All right, here we go. So here I have my dashboard, and the website is Smyth OS, Smyth with a Y, SMYTHOS.com. And it is currently in early access. We're limiting early access right now to 100 early adopters to make sure we can give you the time. There you go. So what I'm going to show you next is an example of an agent. So let's go and check out, for example, this deal pilot over here. And let's take a look at this. So I have my components here. And so here's an example of what an agent looks like. And it may seem intimidating, but I had somebody who is not a coder, no coding background, build this in less than a day, and then some time for debugging and testing the day later. And it takes a transcript from my meetings. It finds out if this was a sales call. It routes this to language models for intelligence. And it analyzes the call, the speakers, next steps, designs a closing strategy, creates draft email, sales summary, and sends an email to my salesperson. It also integrates with a calendar. It searches this meeting name across the calendar to find the people that attended. It finds out if they were in HubSpot, and if they didn't, then it will create a new record in HubSpot. If they did match, it will get deal info, such as lead score and life cycle stage, and it will feed that back into my closing strategy. Now, remember how we talked about the importance of data and context and using tools. We had to use HubSpot. We had to use Calendar. We had to use our transcription tools. We had to use email sending ability. We have to have a certain flow that makes sense and creates value for our business. We had to define our workflow in prompts as well. And so all we do is we go in here and we drag and drop these components to achieve an outcome that we want. After this, Deal Pilot can be deployed to your company as a Copilot, as a custom GPT, or as an API that runs once in the background, or is just waiting for the transcript program to just call it. We can also do multimodal flows, which is really neat. And this is a fun little one. I like to show this because I always have fun with it. This one here allows you to combine images, image generation, and vision detection models. For example, I can say, and you see here, the random animal is sent to do two different vision models at the same time. And they're going to each make a random animal. So we do not know what it's going to be. Unlike RPA solutions, which, sorry, I'm not showing that right screen. Here we go. So let me do this again. I sent a random animal over here. I asked which is the largest animal. It's just sent to the image generator. We can inspect the output, and then we have an output over here as well. And then over here, we send the images and we ask the question, which is the largest. We're going to run our debugger. We're going to take a look at this. And the vision model interprets both images and compares them and says the leopard was the largest animal in here. So we combined just a few boxes, right? Drag and drop. We have a full API for this, and you see we have a server. We have an endpoint, guess the picture. We have our input values, and this is a fully functioning application. It makes for easy deployment. It makes for easy hosting because it constrains the AI to follow the workflow. We have constrained alignment, so we make sure the AI does what you want. Because we have great debugging and inspection of each step, we have great transparency, auditability. Maintainability is greatly improved because we do not have to wade through thousands of lines of code to figure out what a non-deterministic AI model happened to do this time. You can fully inspect each component and know what is happening. It helps you with scaling as well on this hosted infrastructure because it just will scale to your demands. It even features built-in security. So you can, for example, fully configure OAuth or key protection for your endpoints. Collaboration is key as well. And so, for example, I could here use any of my previous agents like Scraps, and I can use Scraps in this context. Scraps itself being a pretty large agent, and it can give problems to Scraps to solve. So full reusability. It integrates with all AI models. Collaboration is key. And then, of course, I didn't have to write any code. I just programmed with English. You do have that ability with the code component just in case, but most of our apps do not need it, or agents. Retrieval augmented generation with vector databases is this easy. Let me show you. You add a data lookup here, call your database, you send your search, and it will return results. That's it. Nothing more. And maintaining your data pools is this easy, right? You create a new data pool, and here say add source. You can drag and drop your files in here, right? It's really that easy to do. No coding required. As far as integration into other systems, well, we have a long way to go here, but we already integrate with all Hugging Face models, all Zapier actions, and we also have an API call component that can call any API in the world, right? So you can access everything here. You can set your headers, your keys. We have a key vault, so it handles that as well. And we are going to be introducing very soon component templates, and we're going to expand this with pre-built integration, so you don't even have to read an API documentation. And then as far as intelligence is concerned, really neat as well. You know, our LLM models support dozens of models, and indeed any AI model you can think of works inside a Smith. So one component can have one model, another can have yet another. So this is a quick overview. Smith is helping you create agents. If you're interested to learn how to build agents for your own benefit, or for the benefit of your company and efficiency, then give us a shout. We're here for you to answer any questions you have. But this is why AI agents are such a big deal. The world is changing of work, and we have to move along with it, both as individuals as companies. And that's all I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. My name is Alexander de Ritter, and I will see you next time.